So, how is the experience of owning a custom cafe racer during almost 5 years? Can we use them every day? Is it comfortable? Is it reliable? Can we make long trips with it? And how loud should the exhausts be? These are some of the questions a lot of people want to know the answer to, and that only some know the truth about them. But I can assure you, you will be amazed with some of the answers I have. Welcome to Racer TV. Well then, let's start by looking at how Frankenstein has aged over the last 5 years. Although Portugal is located in the south of Europe, we also have humidity during the winter days. This means it is inevitable that some parts will have some rust. Some zinc-plated parts also lost some shine. Fortunately, there are some excellent products to keep them shining. The water-repellent seat fabric also requires regular attention in the high-friction sections. The exhaust pipes got an even browner color, with some spots in between. Personally, I like it. What I don't like is this dust inside the headlight that was getting worse over the years. I found that the dust came from the friction on these sections. And why did this happen? Believe it or not, this acrylic shell was mounted upside down during the manufacturing process. This means I will have to replace it. Overall, and despite these signs of wear and tear, Frankenstein still maintains a youthful and healthy appearance. And so the next question is, can we use a custom cafe racer every day? Well, excluding rainy days, of course we can. I don't see any obstacle for that. In my case, I just don't ride it in the rain, because the polished aluminium surfaces can get some stains that are a bit difficult to remove. I can also testify that even though it's a 38-year-old bike, the engine always starts at the first try. Even after not being used for 4 months. This just didn't happen on 2 occasions. The first situation was because of a bad connection on the start button. And the second? Also because of a bad connection inside the ignition switch. Another thing most people usually ask me is if we can make long trips with it. To be honest, it depends of the distance. I already made a 500 kilometers trip in a single day, most of which using local roads. On this particular trip, it was extremely hard for me. Not because of the distance, but mainly because it took me 7 hours to complete it. From my experience, 300 kilometers is the ideal distance for a one single day trip. And this leads us to the next question. Is it comfortable? As you may understand, cafe racers or sport bikes were not created to be comfortable. The right approach about this comfort matter should be something like, for how long can you ride a cafe racer without having to stop for a rest? I would say it is around 1 hour. Because after that, the pain in the arms and back of the rider begins to erase the pleasure of the trip. But don't expect much more comfort on other motorcycle styles. Because even with a better riding position, discomfort always ends up attacking on long journeys. But this is part of the equation. I usually say that riding a cafe racer during an hour is like going to a gym for free. And now, let's talk about another very pertinent subject. Is it reliable? Well, as I already commented in the past, Honda is considered by many like the Toyota of motorcycles. And this Honda CX always confirmed that statement. But when we are dealing with a 38-year-old bike, some problems may occur. From the moment I bought this Honda, I knew the engine has some issues. But for a matter of time, I decided to leave it untouched, giving priority to the transformation process. During the following months, and after the engine gets hot, this starts to happen. Later, we discovered that the cooling liquid was getting inside the combustion chambers. The strange thing is that the head gaskets were fine, with no traces of being burned. The cylinder heads were also free of any leaks. And so I took the opportunity to make a full restoration on the cylinder heads. 3,000 kilometers later, guess what? The same problem again. After some research on the internet, I found that a lot of CX's owners had this problem. These issues are related to the banned usage of asbestos on the new head gaskets, which means the torque of the cylinder head bolts must be higher than originally recommended from factory. This has to be executed in 3 stages, which I can't explain here, for a matter of time. But I left a link about this on the video description. After following these tips, never had any problems again. I bet if the head gaskets were produced by Honda, none of these problems would happen. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Kawasaki, because I had some oil leaks on the front brakes due to some corrosion on the pistons, and also damages on the fork seals caused by some micro dents on the fork surface. But let's go now to the following question. How loud are these exhausts? And my best answer is, they are reasonably quiet at low revs, and intoxicatingly aggressive when I feel like it. And this is a very rare characteristic, because most of the exhausts have one single criterion. They might sound quiet all the time, or loud all the time. So, I hope my 5-year experience with this custom cafe racer may help you in some way. Personally, and even with some problems along the way, I can only say that this custom Honda CX is the best bike I've ever had. Thank you. watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.